Cox Revolver, oh no. Hey everyone, welcome back to Jaraci Cup number 10. We are continuing the coverage of Jaraci... Well, oh my gosh. Yeah, Jaraci Cup number 10. No, what we're actually doing is moving into the upper bracket. Autopilot, man. That's alright. First game that we're going to watch here is between Houston and Phoenixyo. These are the first replays which have been played. Phoenixyo versus Retard. I guess you can already see what Houston thinks about his play in this series. But let's read the info.txt first. Titled OMG Read This.txt in all caps. I like that. Let's see. For Bozo's sake, I, the glorious SPC Lord Phoenixyo, this is cringe, man, explains that I is Phoenixyo, not Houston. Okay, that's nice, because in previous replay packs he hadn't. We both picked Coalition. He banned Torrent, I banned nothing. I don't know why, he never bans anything. It's weird. So it looks like Houston picked the Shallows. Phoenixyo picked Kalash Teeth. He picked Kartoba. So they've already done the map order wrong. And then Phoenixyo picked Boneyard? Question mark? I think it's rather evident he's not really sure. So this is a pretty classic. This is a pretty classic Phoenixyo info.txt. It doesn't actually really say anything, so we're just gonna have to extrapolate. But anyway, it's Coalition versus Coalition here. Obviously, Houston has played a lot of Con-F in the past, but grabbing Coalition for this matchup. He has the carrier production upgrade already started, so there's going to be some LAV push in the beginning. This is a build that I actually, you know, the more I see it from Houston, the less I think he's been successful with it, because it sets an obligation for the player who's running this build to do some damage in the early game, to, like, be aggressive and get value out of it. Because if he doesn't get any value from this, he might as well have just gone Sport Cruiser first, right? So, yeah, like when we see Houston go for rail rushes, he's not quite proactive enough in the beginning, and then when he reaches his power trough, he doesn't play defensively and kind of gets killed. And this build can sort of run in a similar pattern. We have base for inventory done already, by the way, so here comes that first base runner. But, well, I say first base runner, I was about to mention, this base runner here was never retired, so this is just a little bit of a different, setup from Phoenixyo than we saw in that casual replay that I just watched. Unfortunately. Turret gets set down here for Phoenixyo blocking the second base of Houston. Now this can be cleared pretty easily because Houston's got quite a ball of LAVs, which has not been scouted by anything. No probes here, right, from Phoenixyo. And an LAV gonna catch this base burner over here and stop it from setting that turret down. LAVs here really want to kill this turret. Oh gosh. A little bit of splitting would go a long way too, because in Jaraci turrets have AoE. Oh no. Oh, it's a massacre. Oh. Ugh. Well, that was not exactly how that was supposed to go down, but at least he did kill the turret off. LAV armor 1 now teching for Houston, which isn't so bad, right? Because obviously these turrets fire several shots here, so the armor is pretty effective. It's almost as if they were a weapon with like 20 packets, right? But I mean, it's gonna mitigate losses like that, but it's not exactly gonna save him from it, so. No, they went for the turret first. It's just that they were blobbed up like that. Why do turrets have AoE? I can't exactly remember what the reasoning for it was, but it's been that way for a while now, actually. This one's got high ground, by the way, so just gonna slap these LAVs down pretty easy. And Phoenixyo here has that SC that he made. Like I mentioned, I mean, he's gonna get ahead if nothing is done here. So this is actually really catastrophic, I guess I would say, that Houston lost all those LAVs. But also, you know, little benefit of that, he's gonna be able to heal up this space burner here. And this turret also gonna slap that LAV down. And Houston here is actually going for some one-base fighter and gunship. I'm not sure if I'm so sold on this idea. I don't know what he's building right now, to be fair. But I think that's a support cruiser, right? I think. We'll see in a moment when it pops out. But fighter and gunship tech finishing for Phoenixyo. Yep, there's the SC. Looks like he's actually going to reposition, so this guy goes to the main base, carrier brings down to the second. Probably a good thing right there. 6 sisters? Thank goodness, no. Double gunship here for Phoenixyo. This is pretty standard stuff. Now, one thing I must say, when Phoenixyo does this double gunship... oh, jeez. This is why it's nice to have hottest fan ever in the chat. When Phoenixyo does this double gunship stuff, if you get a little bit of, like, strike fighters out, which he does have that tech, not saying it's good to be strike fighter, like, fighter and gunship on one base like this, but if you do have it, this can actually be pretty nice for Houston, because when the gunships come out, he can hunt them down. So, ground-based anti-air might struggle a little bit to finish kills on the gunships, but the strike fighters won't. But he's taking attack bombers. What the? That's a little weird. He said, actually, you know what? You're like one of the few people who does know what I look like now that I think about it. A great compliment, of course. Only problem is my sisters look nothing like me. It's really strange. Everyone in my family, we look like we're not related at all. Here's the gunships in the air. New. Attack bomber fab gonna finish for Houston now, but again, no strike fighters produced here. That's gonna be a big ripple in Pipple. I think he needed like scouting in that case, right? Because these LAVs didn't really do anything in this whole time, so maybe he could have gone out and seen what was going on, but didn't really try for it. So he's gonna find himself under attack now, and he's got no strike fighters to defend. He does have a bomber on the cube. That's not gonna really do him too much. Gunships doing their thing. They're gonna get 3 kills already. Any more? I think they're about to run out of ammo, yeah. So it looks like it's just 3. Well, what, am I supposed to engage with that? Gunships just gonna head on back home here now. But we do have some strike fighters coming up for Houston, which is good. Thing is, he's gonna have to replace these salvagers too, but he can get to that later. For now, getting some anti-air I think is paramount, so... Extraction of another artifact is now paramount. Blah, blah, blah. AV's coming out now for Phoenixyo. Nice transition. Again, nothing's been done by these LAVs this whole time. Really, because they can't go in now. Look at this turret network here. Maybe there's a vulnerability on this side, you could say, but it's not very big. And now he transitions to these... transitions to these AAVs here so that he can say, not only do I defend, like, I can zone you with these turrets, but I can actually bring this to your side of the map and start attacking, so... Yeah, the Phoenixyo style, I think, is working out pretty well here. I've gotta painfully admit. Next time you bring a build that can handle the Phoenixyo style. That was terrible. Heavy Vehicles Armor 2 coming out for him now, which is also a very nice move, because Houston actually only has LAV Armor 1 right now, but obviously if you get enough of these armor upgrades on the AVs, now you're gonna be able to trade really efficiently with these LAVs, so Houston is stomped on, I think. Yeah, you may well be right. This doesn't look good. And Houston teching into rails now. I mean, this is a response to the AVs, but I feel like that's still not the right move here. Just because, again, you're still on 2 base and you're investing into another really expensive tech. There's just no way he's gonna be able to, like, handle all of this. Double gunship is still in the air, by the way. These LAVs looking a little bit exposed, so he needs to launch those strike fighters here, but nothing coming out just yet. Uh-oh. Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that, Cookies, because, like, the way he started this game was by doing the aggressive build, right? And getting LAV fab and the production upgrade. By the way, Phoenixyo is about to go for a Quadra Extract, which is pretty unusual. I've done this before. I think there was one game that I won... Oh, I can't remember if this is true or not, but I think I, like, extracted all 5 artifacts at the same time, but... You know, it's funny, I haven't seen someone do an AV rush in tournament for, like, a long time now, actually. I don't think we saw any AV rushes in JC9, but I might be mistaken on that, but if they did, they certainly didn't win. Do you hear a strange beeping noise? Some truckers backing up outside of my apartment. And now here come the SCs. This is what we would expect. Bomber's finally out for Houston, which he built these a while ago, by the way, but it's just gonna catch one AV kill, nothing to write home about. Oh man, harsh words by the hottest doggy ever. By the way, I don't know what this is. Okay, yeah. He's gonna get the extracts out. I was just waiting there for a moment, just thinking about it. Artillery tech actually coming out for Phoenixyo now. That's pretty spicy. What are these? Wait a minute. What are these colors? Huh. Capital D : I don't know what colors these are. I've not seen Houston play with this before, I don't think. Is it just like black and white? It looked kind of blue. Maybe that's just the lighting of this level. Anyway, artillery tech finishing in a couple seconds here. Obviously, if you got artillery on the way, it means you got AC Feb done too. So Phoenixyo is going to build some of those as well. Bit of a deviation with his ordinary support cruiser spam late game style, which I've got to say is quite an improvement over what he used to be doing. Because you know what I think about that nonsense. A couple more LAVs built here by Houston, but it just feels like he doesn't really have a cohesive plan. He builds a couple units, sends them in, they die, and then he just kind of turtles for a bit and builds some more. But that's not going to work here because obviously, you know, the scoreline's 4-0. We're very, very close to that extraction win condition. AVs for Phoenixyo actually not going to respond to this, which is a little bit odd, but he does have the double gunships. I suppose he just wants to go for that. If you can like just protect these AA posts, then obviously the strike fighters can't really do much about this. So once again, it looks like Houston just going to kind of feed in these LAVs. And down they go. And again, we see the strike fighters launching now for Houston. A bit too reactive, of course, you might be able to say, but more than that, there was anti-air cover here, so there's not really much he could do. Looks like now he's going to go for the kill on that turret post there. And he will get this, I would expect. Yep, there it goes. But he probably wants to dock these guys now, because 2 of them took damage from that, so... And not to mention, you know, he knows these gunships are docking too. They're not going to be able to do anything in the moment. But he's brought his carrier out here. He's building salvagers actually, so he might be able to get up on a 3 base here. It's just, I feel like Phoenixyo has not really been denying that 3 base this whole time, you know? So... It's kind of odd, you know, that it's taken this long, but he is here. He's got the bomber coming out as well. Yeah, I think it's just the lighting. I think it's like black and white. Any anti-air upgrades for Phoenixyo? Yes, actually, he does have AC anti-air. Now, he knows about these bombers as well. He's seen this, but Phoenixyo is still going to get a juicy little hit there. Does take out the SC. Uh-oh. Want to be a little bit careful here. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Definitely an unforced error right there, as the bombers just fly right back over the ACs. Could definitely have just pathed around there. Again, there might even be strike fighters here for Phoenixyo, except for some reason he just does not build them ever. It's quite strange. Now, like I mentioned, he did get the SC. That's not exactly a big deal because, you know, it's Phoenixyo. He's going to have a lot in tow, but he can just rebuild the salvagers, though, off the carrier. That's the big deal that Houston has managed to rip those off. Here come the gunships now. Strike fighters actually never docked, so they're still injured and have a little bit less ammo, but they should still be able to answer this threat. So here they come. Railgun's taking some damage here by Houston, but he is going to get 1 gunship kill and possibly a second, but I think that he's out of ammo at this point. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, he definitely wants to dock now. Okay. So he's gonna dock those guys. Oh, they're black and gray. Ah, okay. The gray turns out very blue looking, I suppose, in this lighting. Looks like Sport Cruiser anti-air now coming out from Phoenixyo. A good choice. I mean, obviously, if he can just maintain that air superiority here, there's no ground-based sources of anti-air for Houston, so that means that Phoenixyo is going to be allowed to fly his gunships around. Artillery's out, by the way, like I said, so that is throwing some shells now up to the red player's base here. Yeah, that is very true, Cookies. Did artillery get buffed? No, but it looks like this is gonna be the one shot, by the way. The double attack missile barrage comes out for Phoenixyo here. There's no power in the armor, so this artillery is really hitting really hard right now, I think. A lot of anti-air assets as well, so that bomber is gonna go down. And the ACs just pop them like that. I guess that's why he didn't extract. He wanted the kill the old-fashioned way. But yeah, Phoenixyo just zero resistance here. He just kind of did whatever he wanted this entire game. It's kind of rough to see. This is a bit of a steamroll. And he'll take game 1 in such fashion. We'll see what Houston is able to do in game 2 here to answer this. As every emo does. As every emu does. Yeah, it is black and gray, I see that now. But it's going to be College Thief here. I'm extrapolating just from the order that this ought to be Phoenixyo's pick. His info.txt is not really terribly useful in ascertaining this info, so that is a guess, but I'm going to assume that's the order that it should have been picked anyway. Yeah, well, that's the story whenever you're here, Cookies, but... Aren't they technically different anyway? Because you have like a purple stripe, right? And you just got the blue. This is one of these long-time mysteries of DOK, who had this color scheme first. Looks like for Phoenixyo this time, again, base burner retained here, and he's going to go 2 on RUs, so this is probably going to be that same build as last time. No, it looks like he's going to... Well, actually, this is what he did last time, isn't it? So he's going to queue up a couple more cells here, and then go for that SC first. This is an 8-up, though, again. Very, very susceptible to early game aggro, which is what Houston tried last game, but I feel like he's just kind of falling flat when he does it, so... He's going to adapt and go SC first here instead. I like this, because even though there is obviously a vulnerability here, if you haven't been able to exploit it in previous games, it might just be best to, like, ignore that, so... Phoenixyo going for 8-up, Houston just going to do 6. And actually, you know what Houston could do is just bring this base burner down and drop a turret on his opponent's second. That'd be kind of funny. Or he could go for a bit of prophylaxis and drop a turret like right here, knowing that his opponent is going to do the same, but... In this case, base burner inventory coming out for Phoenixyo. And LAV fabs for Houston. Difference in ideologies already quite apparent. That probe here going to get chewed up real bad. Yeah, it's going to go down, actually, so... Instantly, the probe falls for Houston. Or, sorry, Phoenixyo. But Houston needs to bring this SC back to the main. A little bit awkward there. He does catch it eventually, though, so he's going to fix that. And here's the Spore Cruiser for Phoenixyo, who, by the way, he never brings his carrier to the second. It's quite an odd thing. Especially on this map, that's kind of a big deal, but... There's the salvagers filled up for that second base for Phoenixyo. And immediately another SV comes out, very, very aggressively going for that economy, like I've said before. And again, Houston can match this if he likes, but this also opens this great vulnerability where if you rush Phoenixyo right now, he'll just die, so... You know, this is a situation where AVs off 2-base could be very, very powerful. If Houston knows, that is. But I think he probably should extrapolate just off the fact that Phoenixyo's done this for, you know, 10 games in a row or so. Artifact is up, by the way, so he's probably going to want to grab that one and take it out, but... He sees the carrier here. He's going to see the SC when it pops, because it'll kill that probe, so no. Okay, there's another SC. I think that's got to be a tell if it's me to, yep, go for AVs. But he's already got it started, so that's great. Grabs the artifact. There it is. Yeah, extremely greedy. And Houston should get this for free, but after that, I mean, you can come back down and, drop a turret, like, right here or something. You unlocked a potato. Congratulations. There's more emotes too, but unfortunately the way Twitch works, I need to get more subs before I can unlock them. If you subscribe to me, tier 3, you'll get them. I think that'd be a bad deal. AV Fab done for Houston now. And straight into ACs, what the... This is a little bit different. It's got some idle salves over here as well, that'd be nice to rectify, but it looks like for now, Phoenixyo actually going for the turret placement on the third here. Houston actually with an attack order on this base runner. That's interesting. Well, no, there's more emotes than that. There's the bozo throw, and then I think I have just the riding it on as well. We could only put 3 up, and we couldn't even like make the other 2 accessible to ordinary people, so it was unfortunate. Turret set up here first for Phoenixyo, so this one is not going to go anywhere for Houston. Obviously, he does get that turret set up, but this is going to go down, so skadoosh. And actually, this base runner is probably going to be forfeit as well. The way he probably wanted to play this is to drop that turret up on the high ground over here and then use spotting on that LAV to see his opponent's side of the map there. And actually, he would have been out of range of this turret too, so he would have just kind of chunked these LAVs here. And indeed, for Phoenixyo, this is a bit of a mistake too, because having a turret behind the lines here means that it has this kind of range deficit. You can attack the salvagers without getting hit by this turret, so... Both players, I'd say, playing that one a bit wrong, but it's definitely Houston who comes out worse for it. Is it like that big? Like, oh man. Well, in that case, he could set it like here, right? But at any rate, the moral of the story definitely still remains, right? Where obviously, you know, this is like a little bit of lost range on that turret. You want to set it like here. 1450. Wow, that is really big. That's like 1.5 carrier lengths. It's like that far. Yeah, you set the turret like here. I think it won't be able to be attacked by this guy, but it'll still hit the salvagers. I'm no coalition main though. Don't ask me. But that's what I would suspect. Definitely, it takes a bit of intuition to like, or you know, I guess the better word for that is experience to figure out exactly how long you need to set it. Is it not the radius circle? No, it's not, as far as I know. Although that may be true, but I don't think so. AV tech is done, by the way, for Phoenixyo. I just want to point out, like, Houston has got AC Fab here, but this, I think, is the first one that he's building, so despite having that tech for a long time now, he's only just setting it up. So... a little bit concerned, because it just seems like he's kind of retarded his eco a little bit here and not really gotten any advantage off the back of it, so don't know what the compensation is. But he does manage to take a bit of a fight in mid, so he's got a little bit of field control here. Still, though, his opponent with the AV is probably going to be able to push him off now. I think that's an AC, though. Yeah, it is. Okay, so what he needs to do then, if he's going to play it this way where he gets behind on eco, he needs to attack right away. But I don't know if he quite is aware that that's kind of the situation on the board right now. Best way to go would be to move out toward this base runner, I think. See if you can stop it. And putting on the overcharge right now to get a speed boost would be quite handy in that sense. But it looks like he's not quite going to play it that way. Uh-oh, he's rallying these guys back to the second. Ugh, wants to fix this for sure. Yeah, but the actions for Houston all seem a little bit slow here. He's not quite reacting in time. Okay, he is going to stop the extract, though. Phoenixyo actually turns around. Otherwise, I think he would have made it in. He wants to smoke, I can see that, but when you're in this kind of scenario where you don't have, you know, you don't have any escape plan, right? You need to just run for it and see if you can make it. Trying to set down a turret as well, that's quite a mistake, because obviously that's never going to go. Yep, down it goes. And these two ACs, they're giving some ground to the AVs, but, you know, they will absolutely slap it, so... That's what you get for buying AMD, man. Nvidia or death. Anyway, he does manage to slap down those AVs, but we do have ACs for Phoenixyo starting to pop up as well. And he's got the better economy, so he'll probably be able to produce more of these. It's really important that Houston tries to keep the numbers up if this is the sort of fight that we're up into. Getting another support cruiser, though, to unlock the carrier, that's a very good move. Bring that guy out to the front line. Maybe build some support cruisers there, too. You can see he's already taken a bit of damage. And this would be quite nice for him. Yeah, but you know I'm just joking, right, Agin? Otherwise, it would be pretty heinous. We do actually... Oh, no, never mind. We have a Soul Cruiser anti-air teching for Phoenixyo. I thought that Houston had it too, but it was just... It was hidden from me. Production upgrade comes out for him though. This will allow him to spam SCs pretty good, but I'm not exactly sure if he wants that production line open, because I'm not sure if he can really sustain production off of it. But scout here for Phoenixyo finally going to be denied for Houston. That's quite nice. This is definitely an avenue for backstabs that we may see used later, so it'd be good for him to leave the LAVs there, but for now it looks like he'll bring him back to get healed. Looks like AC anti-air going to tech for Houston as well. Of course, he did die to air last game. I definitely respect that pick. It's not uncommon to see Phoenixyo go for an air switch pretty late into the game, so... And it looks like Beast CFAB locked in for Houston. That's pretty hype. You don't see that very often. Production upgrade coming out for Phoenixyo now. Now, one thing I will say, BCs are more expensive than the other cruisers, but they also build really slow. So in this case, you do want that production upgrade done, because you will actually be able to build, like, all three of them. Even though their upfront cost is quite large. The artillery is already out here, though, for Phoenixyo. Uh-oh, starting the attack missile barrage as he's getting barraged here. That is going to be a good damage dump, though. So he gets the kill on one AC, but he may lose the second here. Carrier's frontlining nicely, though. Oh, where are the support cruisers? Oh, but he's going to live, just barely. Oh, that's really close. This SC is actually tasked with healing the carrier. I mean, I respect that, but he needs to make sure he keeps his AC alive if he can. One power and weapons would be pretty nice for Houston as well. But he's got good frontline here because he's the one with the carrier in play. This is actually a big advantage for him. I would push this a little bit harder if I were him, but he does have to worry about that artillery, so... Actually, you know, maybe I should take that back, because he's taking quite a lot of damage here, actually. 2 power in the armor, though. Here's the attack missile barrage, but this is going to be a bit of a miss for this AC for Houston. Yeah, dude, these support cruisers, look how fast they kill the logistics module. Insane DPS. Yeah, I'm not gonna entertain any such heresy on my channel. Sorry to break it to you. Turret does get set down here for Turret gets set down here for Phoenixyo though. And it looks like Houston really has to concede the ground. There's a little bit too much healing here, and the artillery being able to put in damage constantly makes it actually a little bit more prickly than I expected. Artillery is pretty good. It's actually surprisingly uncommon we see people it's surprisingly uncommon we see people get these artillery cruisers out these days. Barrage is gonna flomp on in here for Phoenixyo. At Precision Barrage, it's still a lower cooldown. I almost always recommend going for that if you can see where the targets are, but especially against cruisers like that. He had to approve that one. How do I turn off the freaking auto mod for Twitch? I thought I already had done this. Ugh. I love this heal popping, by the way, actually, because right now I believe that Houston can definitely keep this thing alive, even if it get... Well, actually, if it got Precision Barrage, probably not. But these guys had used it, so... ACs are flying in here. This guy is idle. Oh, and a very, very nicely placed attack missile barrage here. Might be able to claim it. Oh, it's low, but not quite, actually. Houston needs to power the weapons up a little bit more here. Having this healing on, I see, is tempting because you can keep your guys alive for a while. By the way, this is the laziest base runner in existence. The back end, by the way, Houston has extracted, so that could be potentially pretty big, actually, later on here. And he's got power from it. Definitely wants to get this in the carrier, but here's the BC popping. And this is where things are going to change. This BC, obviously, actually a little bit, no, it's more tanky than the AC. In previous patches, it's actually been less tanky than ACs have been. Although standing still like this, he eats a lot of auto fire from these siege cruisers. Oh dear, he's actually standing all of these units still. And again, no damage powered up in the carrier here. He's got a lot of power just kind of floating right now. Wants to keep moving so that he doesn't just get hit by the auto fire. He really wants to power up the weapons here too. But as you can see, he is starting to turn the fight here. And if he can just continue this chase, these artillery cruisers are probably going to be forfeit here. So needs to keep pushing in for sure. And using that overcharge would be really, really big here as well. Oh, no, 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 don't back up. There's nothing left. Ah! He's going to give up the chase here. I don't know why, though. There's nothing left for Phoenixyo. This is where he needs to go in. He's already given so much ground here, but he is going to start going in once again. That wasn't me slapping. That was my roommate slapping. That sounds really bad. Okay. A bit of close range fire here for the artillery is going to go a long way. But they are in range of the ACs now. They just instantly melt. That's pretty crazy, actually. The SC is here too, but it's actually not doing any healing. What the heck? Oh, I don't like this. Okay, it's gonna heal this AC now. Oh, I think they all have like a priority like heal target on the carrier here, which is not great. And yes, actually, the BC can evade the artillery fire. It's almost as fast as ACs in the current Jaraci patch. Artillery used to be somewhat of an interesting counter to BCs in that respect, because they couldn't dodge the fires. They would just take a lot of damage, but it's not true anymore. Power 4, by the way, teching for Houston here. And Phoenixyo has one of his stereotypical huge CU floats. I don't know how he does this, because he's building cruisers the whole time, but... Still, though, massive CU float here for Phoenix. So we may see an LAV transition. He typically does that kind of thing. But it means no power reserves, right? Because if he's starved for RUs the whole time, he's not gonna be able to get those up. Totally his plan, yeah, definitely. He does this on purpose, guys. But Houston has full control over the map right now, which is great. He has picked up one of these artifacts too. Looks to dunk that one. If he could get another base burner out as well, that'd be quite nice to just grab this third. Because then he's kind of on artifact point here, right? Yeah, this Houston guy is stomping on this dude. Man, we need hottest man ever in more of these streams. He's entertaining. Bit of auto fire is going to catch this base burner. Apparently he's got vision on that, actually. So again, you never want to stand still when you're up against artillery. This BC has been healed back up to full. I'd actually like to see more of those. I feel like it's a very nice answer to what Phoenixyo is trying to do here. Uh-oh. Well, this base burner is going to be a bit forfeited here. Very nicely placed attack missile barrage there by Phoenixyo. It looks like Houston's going for the breakthrough. This is a little bit risky. Of course, those tech missile barrages were just used. Maybe he's thinking he can get through, but he backs up in the end. Doesn't actually want to take that. But the key here is going to be to let the carrier do the tanking, right? Because these SCs have no damage against it. And he should really get this power allocated a little bit better as well. I think taking out of the repair, because these SCs are going to do that job a lot better. And putting one more into weapons and driving the carrier up here is going to be the answer. But he's not really playing it that way. And this base burner died last time by moving too close to the rock. I think he's really just making a mistake by doing this again. He wants to bring it out that way. Where'd this guy come from? Well, I guess we can see by the treads. Just a bad rally point, but he does have another base burner out, which is just what I wanted to see. LEVs here, well, they're not going to do much. But precision barrage is laid very, very nicely here by Phoenixyo. Just going to slap that base burner out as well. Yeah, like I said, he floats all these CUs, then he goes for an LEV transition, but this time it was not very big. And Houston actually could really take advantage of the fact that this third base is exposed and drive these BCs in there, but it looks like he's not going to do that just yet. Really, really passive play here by Houston. I think, oh dear, now he's got the CU float. But I think he needs to get that carrier involved. It's scary because there's a lot of threats of damage, but enough power in the armor and all these SCs, you should be okay. Sending the BCs in alone, though, definitely not the play here. Those are going to go down. They got slapped! Oh no! What is this? Ah! Oh my gosh, it's a triple barrage from these artillery cruisers, and Houston just doesn't see it at all. Oh no! He's taking so much damage here. He gets the one artifact, but at what cost? Oh my, and the triple heal here as he realizes he's under threat, but ah! Oh no. He's gonna lose. I mean, he's already lost 3 of them. This one's probably gonna go down too, because that indirect fire is gonna outdo the healing for sure. And that's why sport cruisers are OP, friend. Yeah, the DPS on the support cruisers in that last exchange is just outrageous. And another BC pops here for Houston, which is timely, I guess you would say, but so many losses incurred to these artillery cruisers. I don't know what he can do about this. Keeping the army that bunched up is just asking for it, right? Still no power in the weapons at all here. Oh no. I think it's all kind of come crumbling to pieces here. Hey, cookies. Is that how the cookie crumbles? This is actually not as threatening as it looks, because these are all just support cruisers, but it's the artillery who are the MVPs here. They've just been up in the front line, just donking everything. Or, oh my gosh. They've been up in the back line, but donking everything from there. So they've not been touched at all. This is looking a little derpy. This little March of the Penguins here as the support cruisers drive in. Again, power in the weapons and you're really going to melt these things. That's what Houston needs right now. But oh my gosh. But suddenly things are going to change a little bit. Okay. Take 15 seconds, see if you can figure out what's wrong with this picture. Actually, I'm not going to give you even that much. The auto-targeting is turned off, actually, for Phoenixyo. So he's not shooting with these artillery cruisers at all anymore. I think this is one of these things, kind of like the resource controller, people don't realize. You can actually turn off the auto-fires, so... he's not shooting passively anymore. So unless they're barraging, they're not doing any damage. Which is going to pretty significantly reduce their DPS, I think you would say. And those support cruisers for Phoenixyo really did fall a lot. He's only got one left, so he really threw a lot of them away there. Again, they don't frontline very well at all. I mean, that should go without saying, but... They actually have quite a lot of HP, but... yeah, you're right. This is a stupid amount of corpses on the ground here. But yeah, they've got a lot of HP, but they don't, you know, they don't have any armor, so without any ACs left, they didn't frontline very well at all, and most of them died, but... This artillery is still more or less untouched. The repair beams don't heal the carry. Oh, you mean these ones? Yeah. You know, maybe that is the thing. Because in that case, you might think, man, that makes my armor so much more valuable if I'm healing myself, but you're not, right? So that might be it. Well, I think the wreckage goes away if you're on low graphics settings. That's probably what causes that. Nah, that's what you get for buying AMD. The artillery cruiser gonna pop here. This one, no wait, no, this is new because it would have had its auto fire on if it was new. But it's still gonna get a barrage off here. Minimal damage though. This time Houston's got a lot of SCs here, and the barrage is not really gonna be able to. This guy's badly. The barrage is not really gonna be able to get any kills. So. Ay. Okay, he catches it finally. This guy's got to overcharge out, though. This guy might just die here if he's not careful. Oh, no, he pops the heal. Oh, I've done that so many times. Or use the heal ability instead of the E or the T, and then your guy's just, like, standing there. I die for you, my brethren. Yeah, well, he died for nothing, really. Uh-oh. Houston actually... Oh, wait. This base is probably mined out, yeah. This is just a quirk of the replay system. Until the green player sees the CUs here, he's not going to know that they're gone. So it's not going to display for us that that's actually mined out. Oh, that'd be cool if you could rig your ACs to explode when they die and like kill everything around them. Here comes the massive barrage, by the way, for hottest man ever. But oh my gosh. That's the guy in chat. For Phoenixyo. Why am I so bad with names, my guys? I don't know. But it's kind of centered around this point here, which Houston's actually driving back into right now, but he's got a lot of healing here, so he doesn't actually lose anything. Which is lucky for him, but the health point pools are low, so this is when Phoenixyo wants to engage, I think. And he is, to that end, driving out here. He's got power 3, so not as much as his opponent. There is risk of a one-shot here. And I think that's what Houston should go for, because this is a little bit of a carrier throw right now. I mean, this game is clearly slipping out of his hands. If he can make something crazy happen, I think he ought to do it. The power's still not in the weapons on this carrier here, so that's not gonna be the way. And this BC actually backing up, so he's gonna kind of concede that he's not gonna try for it. taking quite a lot of damage to these railguns now. He still has the auto targeting off. Yeah, this is you're gonna want to hit that T button. Yeah, actually, I think he DM'd me something about like, can you tell me if my like artillery auto fire was off? Yeah, he's right, it was. Oh, it's pretty hilarious. By the way, the veterancy upgrades for these artillery crews are actually pretty useful, I think. Most veterancy in DOK is kind of a small deal, but getting armor on a unit that has almost none is quite impactful. And then getting a bit of cruiser hull as well, that's a big deal. Here comes the barrage now. 3 of them barraging here. These 2 looks like are not going to. Smoke popped on this BC to keep it alive. That's a very nice move, but this barrage is still juicy. Oh dear. This one's gonna hit for some serious damage. The epicenter is right where all these units are. It kills 4 support cruisers and an AC. Soon to be 5 here. Oh jeez. Win trading? Oh yeah, that's the thing. He's match fixing, obviously. Huge barrage there though by by Phoenixyo. And he almost gets this SC on the back line too. The auto fire, oh, it's still gonna hit him. Oh, he does catch it, and this BC gonna pop as well. By the way, clearly he has figured this out, so auto targeting is back online, and now we're gonna have the real damage coming out. But it's these railguns that I'm really worried about now. And of course, Armor 1 was tech for Phoenixyo, so he's got that too. Tech missile barrage, a little bit of an attempt there for Houston, but the carrier actually stopped short, which is kind of weird. Maybe he saw that and just hit the S button. Again though, this one's gonna fall short as well. He's not really being quite positioned properly. And this is just so many railguns, man. I don't know what you do about this. But he had a problem, yes. Oh jeez. There's still a couple ACs left, but I mean, railguns are a very, very nice counter to that. And he's got this artillery too, just always going to be doing damage, as long as he doesn't turn off the auto fire. Hey, it is Phoenixyo himself. But now that he's got the railguns too, this carrier is just an indomitable front line. Actually takes a lot of damage in the end, but Houston is going to fall. Yeah, I really agree, man. Like, Houston had this game for sure. That moment where his carrier peeks around the ridge here, he backed away. In fact, look at that. You can still see the treads. Huh? He kind of drives in, turns, and then comes out and leaves. But if he just like committed in here and stayed, he had he had the army at this point. And then those 2 BCs, the corpses of which we're looking at right now, they just kind of drove in on their own with no support. And from then, I feel like, you know, the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? It's just this. Oh my gosh! Look at this. This is like freaking Company of Heroes 2 levels of decals on the ground. Oh, jeez. He had it, man, but a little bit of a bozo throw, I guess we would say, and they are going to move to Game 3, which is now match point. Let's load that one in. This one is Kartoba. I believe at this point the 2 players took a bit of a adjournment, and they came back at a later time, so... By the way, Phoenixyo, your info.txt is horrible as always, but I do enjoy it. It doesn't... First off, it contains a spoiler in and of itself, which I won't share to the audience, but second, I believe that you did the pick order wrong, but I can't really tell because third, it's not really written very, it's not really written very descriptively. It's wrong in a lot of ways. That's okay though. We have a base runner retired coming out here for Phoenixyo, so he's going to change things up just a little bit. What is Houston going to do? He's got it to do. He's obviously down in this series, 2-0. SC first from him again, it looks like, and Phoenixyo is probably going to do the same thing. He's going to go 8 up here. Remains to be seen, though. Yep, there it is. This is a replay. Actually, one of the players, this guy's Phoenixyo, his Steam name is different, but he's in the chat right now, so. LAV Fab started for Houston at a good timing. Note that he does retire his base runner as well. Is this the real... Yeah, it is real life. Well, no, DOK is not real life. But I exist. I don't know, sometimes I would believe that I'm just like an AI, but I exist, I tell you. LAV Fab gonna finish in a moment here now for Houston, but it's done for Phoenixyo as well, who seems to have gone for this instead of the SC, so now he's got that production upgrade coming out. So it looks like things are gonna change up a bit. This time it's Houston with the eco lead, and Phoenixyo is going to be the one who has the obligation to push here. He has started with some LAV Fab, but he's actually idling the carrier right now. This isn't terribly great macro, but by his own admission, he doesn't care about such things. He'll win anyway. That's his game plan. Houston actually, by the way, mining RUs here, which is a little bit strange. I think definitely CUs are much more valuable in the early game. They unlock pretty much all of these things are kind of locked behind CUs here. Getting RUs probably just not going to be terribly... Probably not going to be terribly efficient for him, so, or impactful, I guess I should say. But look at this, what the heck? He's actually going for an SC now. I don't like that. I mean, when you go to these LEVs and then get the production upgrade, and look at this, he's doing all of it off of one production line, so both of those techs are basically wasted. Yikers. Yeah, so this is pretty bad macro by Phoenixyo, all things considered. I don't think you could possibly do it any worse than this, actually. But he's going to get the scout in, so he sees, okay, there's the SC, there's the carrier. If he can wait around for like 15 seconds, he'll catch the AV Fab too, but looks like this LEV's life not long for this world. Well, he may just... Oh, he gets over the dune. I think he's going to be out of vision range, though, so he's not going to scout the AV Fab, but obviously... For those of you at home who might be interested, this is how you tell these two things open up, so... That LAV did get slapped down to the ground. And base for an inventory finishing for Phoenixyo, so more of the same, I guess, but a very strange opener. This is going to set him back really significantly compared to his previous attempts. He does have AV Fab faster than he normally would have, though. But for Houston, it's straight into ACs, and now I guess I understand why he's got 2 on RUs, but he really wants to fill out this line if he can in this case. Don't know about this, though. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was, you know, I was in the moment. I was caught up in the idiom. Phoenixyo does have the AAVs coming out though. And like I mentioned, he got that inventory upgrade. Here's the base burner, so he does have one out as well. If anyone's still not aware, base burner inventory just makes it that initial cooldown when a base burner is produced goes away. So once they come out of the carrier, they can drop turrets. It's just useful if you're going to build a bunch. And it's very cheap too, so even in a lot of, you know, serious games, we'll see people get this tech every now and then. Not available to sub on though, which is a bit of a shame. There's AC Fab done for Houston. He has filled out the line more or less. He's actually got 3-1 set up here, but that's still better than nothing. And straight to artillery, what the heck? Oh my goodness. I don't like that at all. I mean, maybe if he gets an AC out right now, which he probably will have the money to do, but this seems like a massive throw. And here comes Phoenixyo. Man with a plan here. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, on this map, that's a good point. I mean, look how open it is. This is a map where flanks are pretty important, but they're long, right? Controlling them with rails is... in this economy? Yeah, controlling these flanks with rails, I think, is just too easy. If Phoenixyo goes to that kind of strategy, that's a different one. Style and strategy got mixed up in my head. Anyway, this is going to be tough for him, and artillery is not going to be terribly efficient. Although it can shoot over the Kartova, I guess, but hey, wouldn't it be cool if you could drive on top of the Kartova? If LAVs could just freaking do, like, sick jumps over them. Oh. A lot of floating from both sides here, I guess you can see. But the LAVs from Houston are going to strike first and do quite a bit of damage to the second base from Phoenixyo. These AVs, though, completely unanswered, and he does plan on setting a turret down here, so... Houston's definitely going to have to invest the carrier right now. He's got artillery, I think, producing, which is kind of insane at this timing. But Not exactly the unit he wants to deal with AVs, which are more of a frontline threat. Looks like this is actually an AC. That's quite good for him. This guy probably needs to get in there, although you should note these AVs are going to be able to fight back. If they have a turret down, I guess I should say. So maybe we should watch that side. Obviously, a bit of eco damage is going to come in here. Oh, they're streaming in one at a time. This is nice for Houston. So he pops one of these AVs. There's the turret, though. So I think with this turret, these AVs might well be able to fight off this AC here. They're going to do some self-smoking, which is very nice. Houston probably needs to back off here a little bit. And if you can bring that spore cruiser up to get the healing on the front line, that's going to be nice, too. One thing that might be a possibility for him is when these AAVs smoke up like that, they usually stand still. That was a bit awkward. He had a guard over there, but they usually stand still, and then maybe he can use that TAC missile barrage to hit them. But he's getting a lot of ground here. He's going to let his opponent push him off that main base for a long time as he drives way too far out to this side. I'm not sure exactly what he's going for. Second AC pops, though. He really should clear this out. Get back onto his main base. That's paramount. It looks like he's going to bring that carrier to do it. I don't understand. I mean, he definitely can clear this out with ACs. This is taking a lot longer than it should. Not to mention, he's actually got an artillery cruiser popping in a moment that this turret could potentially even kill, but I don't expect that will happen. Yeah, there's a lot of damage for nothing, I guess I would say. Here's that carrier, though. It does finally kill off this turret. Oh, that's an SC. Oh, no, he is building an artillery, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm actually quite sure. Look at that. It's up on the production tab. I'm so good at this. Well, that SC is out. That means that he can go up to 3 base if he wants it. But this is when Phoenixyo looking for some extracts here. He does have 3 base runners, so he's going to look to grab all 3 artifacts if he can. But Houston can definitely stop this. If he uses that overcharge, he's really speedy. And these AVs are not going to put up all that much resistance, especially if the LAVs are in tow, actually. Uh-oh, this is not what he wants to do. Ooh. The key is, you know, you get the ACs up in the front line, and then if the AVs don't fight them, they're just accepting that they're all going to die, which is unacceptable for his opponent. So you bring those LAVs up there too, and they can just dump all of their damage, which is quite a lot of DPS that LAVs can do, and the ACs just tank everything for you. But why is he running away? What are you running away from? Oh no. This is not how you play it. Ah! Oh, he's got to just go in there. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, caramba! Okay, the carrier's gonna get involved too, but he's conceded the triple extract already. I don't think there's a world where he stops this unless his opponent really makes a mistake with smokes. To be fair, this guy's low, but I think he's got 6 smokes ready to go. Yeah, my thoughts exactly, Cookies. This is quite a throw here by Houston. Feeling the pressure, maybe, of being on match point, but I don't know. And he's leaving his flank pretty exposed too, so if that was the idea, was to, you know, cover his bases, he didn't really do that either. In fact, he's still floating a lot, right? Oh, not that much, but still pretty significant. We'll kill off this turret. That's not going to be too hard for him. The auto fire, in fact, well, that was going to claim the life of that. Uh-oh. The, well, you know, it's not so bad to get these guys healed up, but I'm sure he was going for the E button, hit R instead. Play a bit of League, you know, that'll teach you the difference between E and R, I think. Boost actually done now for Houston. That's probably good for him. We did have fighter and gunship started for Phoenixyo. So if he goes for AC anti-air, that'd be pretty nice, but he hasn't started it yet. I mean, unless he's freaking God, I don't think he's gonna immediately start it when his opponent begins fighter and gunship. He needs to see that. So a bit of scouting would go a long way here. He does have that base runner, so that probe is an option. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that, Cookies. If they could have been here to stop the extracts, I'd definitely support where they were, but the ACs were not they were not following. So in this case, like right now, there's not really anything they can do. Looks like this carrier is gonna go on a bit of a merry chase here. Wants to catch these AVs, but it's buying a lot of time for Phoenixyo. And the money is still stacking up, he's just not building anything. I mean, this is match point, you know? If this goes badly, it's the end of the game. There's no two ways about it. BC Fab started, it looks like, for Houston, so he is going to spend some money finally, but he's got no RUs is his big problem here, I think. He is fully saturated on all the bases, so... Here, though, we only see one AV guarding, I don't think that's going to go well for Phoenixyo. He does have armor 1, but still, this number of LEVs should be able to fight that off. Yeah, that's my feeling as well, A-Game. Or wait, no, this is Arctic Space Fox. This is the color that A-Game always shows up for. Well, maybe not for you, but for me it is. What the? Why you would task salvagers to the big field like this? I mean, I get what's going on. He's evacuating the third, but sorry. Oh, there's nothing to apologize. 5. Oh yeah, look at that. It is a little bit different. Huh. Didn't notice that. Yeah, these salvagers here, they think that they're in that campaign mode where they can like pick up the artifacts, you know, but it's just not so. It's just not so, and the support cruiser is gonna get back. Oh no, he sits under the turret fire for a little bit. Yeah, Houston just at every turn here, he's not quite got it. He's got the right units for the job, he's got the right idea, but he just doesn't quite, you know, do it, basically. It's hard to explain. Oh dear. Well, the railguns are up here, but this AC is in a good position to you know, slap them. I missed that one. Yeah, well, Phoenixyo is kind of off on purpose. He likes playing things silly. But for Houston, I agree. Something is just not quite... Yeah, like that attack missile barrage way late there, right? Something's just not quite... Something's not quite computing here, you know what I mean? Oh geez, this time it's not going to be double gunship, although he does build one for some reason. I don't know what a gunship is going to do against this army comp, but he does have bombers on the queue. And actually, this is a very nice answer to AC anti-air. That's quite interesting. And Houston's still with this big float, of course, but I don't quite see how he's going to spend it. Again, he goes into another tech here, but he never built any BCs, right? Well, maybe he did, actually. I guess we'll find out in a moment. No, that's an AC. Yeah, I mean, if you're not gonna... Oh, wait, he canceled the tech. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, by SPC, by the way, he means SC. I don't know. Something wrong with him. He's talking about support cruisers. This time it is special cruiser. This time it is Houston who's got the artillery, so he's able to put down a little bit of fire here. But what Phoenixyo was doing last game, well, I mean, I should also mention, ow. But yeah, NSC just kind of gets slaughtered right away right there. Houston gonna need to get some anti-air real quick, and it's gonna be tough to deal with. This is kind of a bit of a headache for him. But what Phoenixyo was doing so effectively last game was that he was always in contact with his opponent's army, such that this artillery could always shoot, except for, of course, the times that he turned it off. But that was only for a short moment, relatively speaking. So what Houston wants to do is keep contact with, you know, positions of his opponent's base that he can, you know, attack, right? Because otherwise, that artillery, well, it's nice, I guess, but it's not really doing anything right now, is it? And eventually it'll actually get killed off by the bombers, so even still, it seems like it's actually, even still, it's actually Houston who's kind of taking some attrition here, but he does recognize the difference, so he's going to start to push in now. AC anti-air? No, looks like it's going to be missile battery fab. I'd say about the theory of like countering bombers that definitely strike fighters are the way to go when it comes to countering bombers, but it's not really a game that's been played quote unquote right if you find your opponent having bombers when you haven't even started firing gunship. You want to be like teching their or watching their carrier, right? Always scouting, and if they have fighter and gunship, you get some form of anti-air. Maybe it's air of your own, maybe it's anti-air like on the ground, like missile batteries. And then if you see bombers come out, now you can tech air if you didn't have it, or you can tech ground-based anti-air if you didn't have it, and you'll be able to cover pretty well. So I think it's definitely it's indicative of a lack of scouting from Houston that Phoenixyo can get bombers without him even having an idea. For now, a little bit of a self-barrage right there, but this push is messy, I think I would say. But he is going to push his opponent off that second base. The thing is, there's not really anything left on the ground that's threatening Houston right now. And he does have a missile battery out with more being built every moment. These two ACs can pop the heal, which I would be a big fan of. But he is doing a lot of damage. He's pushed his opponent off that second base. And off the main. Well, kind of, more or less. ACs didn't get that heal off though, so they have gone down. The thing is though, all these units circling around the carrier from Phoenixyo, this means that they can't dock. And so these anti-air units are just having a field day right now. I wonder if they'll catch this gunship. You can see that's the pad there. It's about to be freed up. Oh, it does catch the gunship. That's quite big. This bomber probably will get away then. Will it? Oh. Oh, one more shot. But then this battery has to target on something else because that bomber does get far enough away. But in the meantime, Houston is extracting here. This is actually going to come down to kind of a close finish because obviously bombers can do a lot of damage to carriers. A railgun comes out for Houston. Remember, he did get that tech, but right now I think he really just needs missile batteries for sure. Oh gosh. This is going to get kind of close. Well, and by kind of, I mean very. Support cruisers are out for Phoenixyo, but he's going to task them to attack the AC where they do 0 damage. No, no, no! You get these guys on the carrier! Ah, he could still have won this. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, now, okay, now he's back here to healing that carrier up a little bit, but I think it's too late. Oh, look how close the margins are there, but he doesn't get any healing on that carrier, and he doesn't quite finish off Houston, who does win with that all in there. And like I said, it was quite messy. It turned out okay, it looks like, but I think it was definitely Phoenixyo making some mistakes there too. What a weird finish. Strange finish to a strange game. It is not the end of the series. Let's jump on to game 4 here. Which is, well, let's delete these. Alrighty, it's the Boneyard. Didn't build enough SC yet, there you go. Just need more support cruisers. Oh, jeez. What a bizarre game, man. Yeah, missile batteries often are kind of a weak answer to like bombers because they can't finish kills, but if you're on top of your opponent's carrier there and he doesn't micro, your bombers will try to dock when there's a lot of anti-air around there. Glorious, eh? Well, I'm excited. He's still in the red here, does retire that base runner. But yeah, when you're on top of your opponent's carrier and they're not microing to keep their bombers alive, you will get kills eventually, so that's the difference there. Looks like Houston with SC first once again with that retire in there. He gets his start at about 29:30. Good timing. And his opponent Phoenixyo here going to keep that base runner alive. Yeah, it was a messy finish, I guess I'll say. I think Houston needed to build more anti-air at some point too, because the bombers were still doing a lot of damage, but
proceed to rally point. Secure location marked.
we do have Illy Fab almost done for Houston here. Ah, I see what you mean, HME. I see. I understand. The SC is almost done for Phoenixyo now. Pretty late timing, of course, because like I said, he is going 8 up here, but he's been very comfortable with his opponent not really doing any aggro here, because Houston's generally had a lot of trouble finishing this off, so he gets away with it again. But it's AV Fab coming up for Houston at a pretty aggressive timing now, so that might be changing in just a moment here. You either do all 3 or 1, yeah. Seems to be accurate. That's pretty much how it goes. This base runner queued up already, by the way. That's a bit off. You can cancel that, start the production upgrade, and then you go for it again. But he does have inventory already, so that's how he be. Down goes the probe. And production upgrade starts for Phoenixyo now. So, like I said, definitely a lot later than it could have been, but Well, I often say, like, but that's okay. Actually, I mean, if I'm being serious, like, that is quite a difference. Like, that could be a pretty big timing in a close game, but we'll see if it ends up mattering. It may not. I'm detecting turrets. I think that's our future. I mean, obviously this guy is gonna get up here and set a turret down just on the fog of war there. That's kind of how you want to do this. In fact, he could set it where he is right now, because Houston's probably already getting the ping. And yeah, sure enough, this LAV is gonna come to investigate. But this is a very nice turret, proxied on the main base here. And Houston gonna scout the double SC here, so he's like, okay, all is good for the AV rush. Ah, but he's going straight to AC again. And that's the thing, this is actually a very low tempo move. I mean, I'm surprised it worked for him last game. This is not how you punish insta-3 base. You want those AVs. Uh-oh, and the turret is really gonna chonk here. Look at that. Oh, it's already gotten 2 salvagers done. Okay, they do get out of range finally, but they can't mine off of this, so the carrier needs to be committed here unless he can finish it off with the LAVs. Based on that game 1, I'm a little bit skeptical about this prospect, but he's going to go for it, looks like. I will admit that, Phoenixyo. I will definitely admit that. He's not going to stream in one at a time this time, but he needs to make sure he targets that turret. Yeah, he does catch it. Uh-oh, but actually he is streaming in one at a time now that I look at it, because these guys were not there at all. This turret's got high ground as well, so it's going to live here. And now this problem becomes so much worse. Oh no. This is horrifying. And Phoenixyo is probably going to set down a second one if I know him. But at any rate, he does have these base burners coming out here, and he can probably build more. At this point, like, this has worked so well, I actually want to see him just, like, go for base burner spam. And I want to see him just go for, like, ultimate base burner spam here and just, like, see what he can get done, but just for kicks. Yeah, no, this is a very nice turret. I was mentioning he could probably just set it where it already was, but it might not have had high ground there, so maybe this is better. Looks like he's going to fill out the salvager lines here, actually. He doesn't necessarily need RUs, that's why I'm a little bit surprised at it, but those guys are on cooldown. Oh, look at this. They actually set turrets down on the main base. Yeah, here's that second turret, and Houston, I think, is gonna go for he's gonna go for the push to try and get these turrets going again. Uh-oh, the logistics module are gonna fall. It's so annoying when you lose these. Yeah, the enemy carrier is committed to, like, clear out the turret post, and you just go over here and set them down on that side. It's horrifying, right? I mean, eventually your opponent, you'd think, would be able to deal with this, but if you get ahead enough and just keep making base burners, you might be able to continue that forever, but I don't think we're going to see that happen. Probably with that third production upgrade, he'll just go for, like, a whole bunch of AVs and overrun everything, but I don't know. I mean, the thing is, the way that Houston is stacking up LAVs here sounds like the right idea, but I mean, I think that Phoenixyo can just get turrets set up fast enough that he'll actually be able to outdo this LAV production here. So it looks like they're going to come over here to try to stop the extracts instead, but he's already got one turret set up. This one may not have... No, this one's got line of sight. See if we can catch all the action here. That carrier does come to clear the turrets out. It's got no power and armor, which you wouldn't expect, but that does mean it'll take a significant amount of damage, I'd say. It looks like these LAVs are going to clear out this first turret. If Phoenixyo had already set the second one down, I think he might be able to fight these guys off. But... oh, Salvagers died over here. What the... oh my gosh. Actually, he's taking a lot of damage. Okay, I'm going to rectify my old statement. You should put power and armor until you're in range to attack. Still, though, rotate in place and he'll be able to take these out with the missiles as well. But looks like he's in range for the missiles anyway. Oh, don't back up! No, why are you backing up? No! Ah, what's he doing? Why is he backing up? Oh no. Well, now he's not in range for the missile anymore. This is gonna be a carrier kill. What the heck? He's standing still! Ah! Houston, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. Oh. Ah! Ah! Oh no! What was that? Oh. Oh no. Oh. And that's the end? Oh no. That's horrifying. Yeah, high ground turret with no power in the armor. And then the thing is, he'll kill it anyway, but he backs away. And then he puts power into the range instead of the armor. Oh no. I feel like there's not many ways that he could have died to this turret. There's not many ways that he could have died to this turret. That was like the only thing he could have done to be killed like that. Oh no. How the mighty are fallen. Oh. And we've got support cruiser spam coming out. Oh. Oh, Houston, my boy. Oh. It's a sad day, my friends. Can we get 3 likes? Well, maybe if I ever posted these things on YouTube. Well, I'll see you guys later.